The bar, you could, it's a wide camera. You could sit right there and be in.
Okay.
If you can come over just a little bit more.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can be in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right.
That's what you say.
I see. I didn't know exactly how you shooting it. Now I got you. Yeah. I'll make this.
Cast this over here. Yeah, sit down. One word or two words.
Sit down. 2 words.
Okay. Over a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You probably want to clean your front camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Invisible?
Is the audio good? Oh yeah. Yeah, we good. Whichever brother want to open up. You got it, Carl.
Hey, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to those of the Akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity. Alone to Israelite foreigner brothers that like the heathens. But the line on the false side goes back to them being the Israelite. And as Brother C, it's a Passover today. Yawam Pasach. The title lesson, what was the title lesson?
Pray that the Lord pass over you.
Pray that the Lord pass over you, because, we understand what happened in ancient Egypt, with our forefathers, how, they had, sacrificed the sheep or a goat, and they put the blood on the side doorpost or on the lintel, for the destroyer to pass over them so they won't be judged, get destroyed. So, today's day will be spiritual. The door will be the doors of our mind, and we want to be covered through the blood of our Lord Yahweh Shai, to get, so we won't get destroyed out here, and you asking my mom?
I Ezekiel 9.
Yeah, that's the spirit I was thinking of. So maybe we can read that whole chapter, start.
Okay.
This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapons in his hand.
Right, now every man with a destroying weapon in his hand, them are the angels. Because when you read the previous chapter, a lot of the elders of Israel was going off. They was worshiping idols, worshiping creeping things. The woman was weeping for Tammuz. So there was a lot of iniquity and sin going on in Israel back then, during the time of Ezekiel's day.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate.
Right. So once again, these 6 men are the 6 angels.
Which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
because
one,
the angels are power and mighty men. You know, the scripture's talking about the mighty ones that excel in strength. You know, and these are the holy angels that the Lord uses to bring judgment, man. You know? Yeah.
And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side.
Mm-hmm.
And they,
and that one man, that's the angel as well. You know, because the angels, they record every matter that happens in the earth, whether it be good or bad. You know, and they report it back to Yahweh Shemon Shai. You know.
And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar.
Mm-hmm.
And the glory of Yahweh of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
So you got chariots there.
Yep. Yep. And it says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right. Now, the word mark in Hebrew, God, Brother's going to get into it. Because for all the men that sigh and cry, that represents the elect. You know, and Ezekiel, he was one of them. You know, because the elect is not compatible with this lifestyle that we live. You know, we're not compatible with the alphabet movement. You know, the transhumanism. You know, the fourth industrial revolution. You know, we're not compatible with this lifestyle, man, because it's all ruled by the wickedness. You know.
All right, so this word mark goes back to the Hebrew word thawa. First entry says desire mark. Entry A says mark as a sign of exemption from judgment.
Right. So exempt from judgment, man. You know, and that happened with the Israelites during the Passover in ancient Egypt. But this time, this is only going to apply to the elect of Israel, because back then all Israel was delivered. You know, we had that exempt from judgment from the Lord. But now in today's day, this applies to the elect of Israel. You know, because all Israel is not of Israel right now. You know, there's an elect within the elect. You know.
I got a precept. This is James or Yahweh, chapter 1, verse 21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul.
Right. So, you know, you have to receive the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. You know, because it's the Lord that puts His Spirit on you to receive the word in the first place. But it's a process of prior to you getting saved. You know, you have to hear the word of the Lord first, then you repent. You believe, then you repent, and then, you know, you be saved when Jacob's trouble come, man. You know.
I got another precept here in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10. It's talking about Lot and his two daughters and what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah and those neighboring cities. But we can apply it to today. This is Wisdom of Solomon 10:9. But wisdom delivered from pain those that attain upon her.
Yeah. You know, and those that obtain her, which is the wisdom, are the elect. You know, so by you receiving the wisdom, you know, the Lord have you receive the wisdom, and then you'll get saved. It's a process. You know.
I got a precept real quick. Isaiah 33:6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
And right, and what wisdom and knowledge is it talking about? The knowledge was understanding of the Bible. You know, the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai, which is the apostle of the great millstone doctrine. You know.
And strength of salvation, for the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Yeah, so the fear of the Lord is his treasure, because the Lord delights in Israelites that fear him, because fear goes into respect. So when you respect the Lord, you do what he says, and that brings in a healthy fear of the Lord. You know?
That precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 28. For the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth for wisdom.
Right. You know, so that applies to the elect. You know, one that dwelleth for wisdom. This wisdom, man. You know, but not being corrupted by the different lifestyles and ideologies of this world, different religions of this world, man.
Not being tossed to and fro
Yep.
with every wind of doctrine.
That's right.
Yeah, and going back to Ezekiel 9, where it's spoke about the angel with the writer's ink horn, putting that mark upon the men that sighed and that cried. You can run parallels with how that mark of exemption is his truth, like we went into in the precepts. So, we talk about famine, pestilence, destruction, Esau coming down with great wrath, the love of many waxing cold, and all these various said perils that will be happening in the very near future. But in order to have that hedge of protection, ultimately you got to be predestinated for salvation. You got to be of the elect, and Lord willing, we are part of the elect. Now, our Lord Yahushua said a tree may be known by its fruit. So what type of fruit would grow on the trees of the elect? Well, they had a wisdom. They'd be offering their bodies as a living sacrifice. They'd be rehearsing and standing stiffly for the names. So that's going to be that mark of exemption, having this truth. Let me see.
You talking about that? There you go.
It says connected. Okay, yeah, you got it.
Ezekiel 9 and 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing,
So to the other 5 angels,
go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
right? So this was going on in Israel back then, and as brother was saying on camera before we started the live stream, judgment is needed here, man. Because pride has been exalted. Folly is set in great dignity, man. There's no fear of Yahweh Shemon Shah in the land, besides his elect praising him. So we understand that, the scriptures talk about before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and we see that now. Being proud gets to ancient, you have a lot of, that applies to the world, but also in the truth too. You have a lot of Israelite camp leaders, disrespecting Abiyah, the apostle Ezra Great Milton.
And it says, I'm reading over again. It says,
And woman, because a lot of iniquity, begins on with these women, man. The reason why men are bugged out a lot of times is because of women.
They lose their wits.
They lose their wits after these wicked women, man. So, the Lord is no respecter of persons, man. And when the Lord started bringing that judgment down, man, hey, we, pray out to the Lord that He put the Spirit on us. Hey, that was judgment.
Yeah.
Because we're naturally compassionate people, like damn, But the Lord make these people harden their heart towards us in the world, so when that judgment comes, we be hardened against them.
Yeah.
right.
And the Lord, when that judgment go down, the Lord is visiting all age groups. Old and young. You read that, right?
Yeah.
Old and young, both maids, little children, and women.
Especially here in America.
Yeah, because the Israelite man and woman is completely off the hook. They degenerate. They void of discernment. They void of understanding. They void of understanding what time and season that they in. And they think that this kingdom is just going to continue to prosper. They think that this kingdom is just going to, as long as you got you a 9 to 5, as long as you got the weekends off, you're doing good. But the Lord is disturbing Jake's lifestyle.
Yep.
And we often go into the different things that's going on with the financial system. You got inflation at an all-time high. As the cost of living is at an all-time high and increasing. The food situation. You had another train derailment in Ohio. It was another plant that was burned down. And as we continue to stand up on our watch and look at the different things that's happening around the world, hey, it's time to gird up. But Jake, is being distracted by bread and circus, entertainment, concerts, music, all these different things of this world, man. You know, and you look no further than Esau. Esau puts these different vibrations out to distract you. You know, but meanwhile, you want to pass by the camps, you want to stare and look. You know, you want to look like a deer in the headlights. You know, you want to take pictures and do all that, but the gateway to your salvation starts at the camps, man.
That's right.
Starts off with this truth. This is how you get access back to the tree of life. You know, this is how you get the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, that hedge of protection.
Yeah.
You know, because Esau, he's finna come down with great wrath, man. And the Lord is gonna put a cold spirit on him, man. You know, all these different things that we seeing that in regards to, like we were saying, the food situation, you gotta look at Esau. Esau was designed, when you read in Revelation 6, to take peace from the earth. When you see these different things happening from the C-19 to, you know, different, you know, things going on in the world in regards to peace being taken away, Esau has had a hand in it, but it was the Lord that put the spirit on him to do that, man, because man's goings is of the Lord. You know, and we speaking about the Passover, having the Lord pass over, you know, the elect. You want to get passed over, man. You know, we constantly going to 2nd Esdras 15, constantly going into 2nd Esdras 16. We constantly going into Matthew the 24th chapter. All these different prophecies. All right. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna be hearing family members getting caught out there. You gonna be getting caught out there. You know? And Lord gonna put that remembrance on how you know this truth. Those men said this, those men said that.
This is gonna be like no cloak for your sins. This, you know, because we're here now. We telling you.
Yeah, right. I got a precept. Slack it, bro. Yeah.
It says, verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient man which were before the house.
That's why we read scriptures like a man shall be more precious than fine gold. Why? Because the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of this place, the elect, all right, they're going to be a safe haven. You know, there's going to be that spiritual force field. There's going to be that hedge of protection that Job had before Satan got loose on him. You know, we read about Job. He had a hedge of protection about all his goods, his possessions, his house, his children, him. You know, the men of the Lord is gonna have that type of protection, man. Right. And they're gonna be fine gold. Then that's when Isaiah 4:1 gonna come, where you're gonna have groups of women coming to men of the Lord saying, you know, come in unto us and take away our reproach. You know, because it's gonna be a clear difference. It's gonna be clearly known
who are my chosen,
who are the Lord's chosen, man. You know, just like how these women, when they going out trying to find men, they know who a ball player, they know who a simp, they know who a hood dude. Oh, this dude, you know, this dude ain't nobody. There's gonna be a spirit on people to know, like, wait a minute, it's something, it's something about, you know, this one, and it's already on us, man. You notice it when you at the grocery store, you notice it when you at the mall or wherever you at. You know it's a certain aura that draws people to you, man. The Lord is going to intensify that when all hell breaking loose.
Spiritual.
And we're reading about all hell breaking loose in Ezekiel 9, man. You got it, bro.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It says, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, and through the spirit. You know, that reminds me of in the book of Samuel. You know, Eli and his sons.
Yeah.
You know, because the ancient men are the ones that's supposed to, you know, keep that fear of the Lord on the people, you know, through the spirit. So that's why they began at the ancient man, all right? Because the ancient man is supposed to know better.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Eli with his sons. He knew that they wasn't supposed to be doing that wickedness in the temple. Yeah. You know, but he didn't say nothing. So what the Lord do to him? Right. He put the judgment on him. Yeah. So like the brother was mentioning earlier, you know, your general Yohanas, you know, the dudes that are supposed to know better, you know, that been in the truth for a while that are going off. Guess what? When that judgment begins at the sanctuary of the Lord, guess who's going out first? Y'all, man. You know, I'm talking about you wicked older guys, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's been around since the apostles been around. All right.
Yeah. Remixing the doctrine. You know, they talking about hell now.
I got a precept.
Yeah.
Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say evil shall not overtake or nor prevent us. And that's these Israelites that think that the Most High is going to protect them, and they're not all the way in the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they still got that inner truth demon.
They ain't born again.
Yeah, you know, the scriptures talking about curses he that teaches, doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. You know, and that applies to all these wicked Israelite camp heads that, like you said, been in truth for a while, since the apostles, you know, leading the sheep astray, man.
Yeah.
You know,
With half the doctrine.
Yeah.
Like you got
Yeah.
you got Fopi, you know, when you watch his, even Apostle Hard get on him, you know, you watch his doctrine and stuff, it's a guy that used to once be in the truth, but like the brother said, that I'm still in the truth demon. He's not in the truth. Because I mean, look at his doctrine. He don't think that the Hispanics, all right, and the natives and things of that nature of our people are the Israelites.
They call them black only Israelites.
Yeah.
Then he tried to debunk Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, us going into the River Euphrates, saying that the other tribes didn't pass through there, man. It just when it clearly says in there that the Lord stopped the the floods for them.
Yeah. But you know, that's all a part of prophecy, because like it's saying in the Gospels, there shall be men crept in unawares and drawing people after them. You know, let me see if I can find that real quick. This in 1 Timothy. Because just as we prophesy Esau coming down with great wrath and all these different things that we constantly, bring out, you're going to have people coming up being drawn away after these other doctrines. But you, as a man of the Lord, you got to stay rooted in your beliefs. This ain't the time to be, considering other doctrines or considering, other breakdowns.
Right. Because then you got to start back all over. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
You got guys, I feel like I've been lied to. Now you're going to go back and the Lord going to confuse. You're going to be confused, man. Oh, well, that I was lied to about that. Now I got to go back and you're going to be doing research for years, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So the prophecies clearly say that in the last days, the latter times, the time period that we're in now, you're going to have some depart from the faith. You're going to have people fall out the truth. All right? They're gonna turn their backs away from the true breakdowns of the scripts. And while doing so, they're going to be giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. When something is seducing you, when a woman is seducing you, she's alluring you. She's telling you stuff that sounds good. She's making you feel good. She's telling you all this stuff that you want to hear. She look good. She smell good. So these other doctrines, they may seem, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. It's a little shaky, but it could be true. The Lord Yahweh Shai could have just been born and married without a spot. Whatever these people, think, But see, that little leaven can increase. A little leaven the whole lump. That little leaven, or that grain of mustard, that mustard seed, it'll grow, and you start considering other shit. You get to reading other books. Well, what they did say, the book of Eli was off. Let me read the first chapter of the book of Eli. I mean, not Eli, Enoch. Yeah. Let me read the first chapter in the book of Enoch. Here it is. You done read the whole damn book, now you just super bugged out. And we meet people like that on the highways and the byways. Last week we had the dude, he was just had all
Man,
the doctrines.
He was drunk.
He had all the doctrines.
He was drunk, bro.
He went from talking about the Israelites to dealing with women on their periods to the book of Enoch, Haile Selassie.
He was going on.
You know, all kind of stuff, man. You know, you get the dibbling and dabbling in all type of things, man. Yeah.
Proverbs 14:12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So all of the fact that the brother just listed, them are ways that seem to be true, you know, but it's not the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and if they keep continuing to believe in those wayward doctrines, those seducing spirits, they're gonna be destroyed, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But you got freedom here, man. They push all those doctrines here. Let me give you a precept.
It's like and they have no cloak for their sin too, because the prophets is out telling you, warning you that you're going off in what you're believing in, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And a part of this truth, you got bitter and sweet. You got stuff that feel good, sound good, make you feel all warm inside. But then you got the bitter stuff. You got stuff that'll cut you. You got stuff that, as is commonly said, you know, in Israel, you got the nastiness of the scripts. You got stuff that, you know, the whole grape thing, you know, that's a part of the bitterness of the scripts. But you got to receive that, man. Everything don't sound good, just like your diet. You know, everything ain't supposed to, you know, candy yams, mac and cheese, you know, savory steak, you know, everything isn't just, you don't put a whole bunch of stuff in your body that just tastes good. You gotta have the bitter herbs. You gotta drink, you know, the greens. You know, you gotta eat the broccoli. You gotta eat the cauliflower, the carrots, the beetroot. You know, your body needs that. You know, but then you can throw the strawberries and the pineapples and the cantaloupe and, you know, bananas and stuff, you know. Then you can have the different meats, lawful meats, you know, the unleavened bread and things like that. But the important thing is there's some things that you have to take in that's bitter, you know. The truth ain't got women, you know, the truth ain't got women sitting around, you know. You're not going to have women out there on the highways and the byways holding posts with you, getting the precepts and chasing children around. You know? You gonna have your family come up against you and say you bugged out. Your woman, she gonna turn on you. You know, because you see things that she don't see. And her hopes and her desires is that things will get better in this system and that, you know, y'all can finally buy that house. But you know things like the interest rates is high with the feds. You know, the average mortgage rate, if you living in California, is like $3,500. You know things like that. She don't know stuff like that. So you gonna have that variance in the household. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I answered. You got something?
Nah, yeah.
This is 1 Peter 4:1. For as much then as Yahushua has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
And that's the bitterness of the scripture. You know, when Yahushua walked the earth, you know, he even said that iron straightened until the gospel be accomplished, roughly paraphrased. So he even said himself that he was catching hell. But he was doing the right thing that was pleasing unto the Heavenly Father Yahweh, man. And that's what matters at the end of the day, is if you're doing the right thing to please Yahweh by Shema, man. Rather it can seem to be evil unto you. You know? But it's profitable for your spirit, man.
It says, for he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer shall live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Yahweh.
Yeah, we don't live our life to the lust of men. You know, having worldly desires and try to trim our way to seek love, man. You know? Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, all this, the foundation of this kingdom is going to be uprooted, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then what you going to fall back on.
Yeah.
You know? See, like Apostle will always say, we deal with reality, man. You know, like we was talking about, you know, women, they don't deal with reality. You know? that's why a lot of men, you know, be like you were saying earlier, they run their way, they unwitted for these women, man.
Yeah.
Around their wits.
Yeah, went out there,
Yeah.
went out their way, went
Not their wits.
out their wits for women.
Yeah, because women they think emotionally. You know what I mean? A man, you're not built like that. You don't got that software in you. I mean, some guys do, but you know, you don't have that spirit in you to think like women. So you're gonna try, you know, all this troubleshooting a relationship, trying to figure it out, and you can't, man. We need a whole new system. You know, we need the Most High's reset. We need things to go back to the old ways, man. You know, we need the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding to be the blueprint of the whole earth, and respect it and fear. We need the Lord to be feared. That's the only way things gonna work out for the Israelite man. Because while we're under the rulership of Esau, you know, Esau had a perpetual hatred to his brother Jacob. Although Esau isn't out here with weapons in his hand and physically harming Jacob, he has a system configured to kill Jacob.
Destroy him.
All right, your relationship is destroyed. Your marriage is destroyed. You're not getting too high in your workplace unless you sell out. And selling out is you doing away with your integrity. You got to do stuff that you know is wrong. You know, you got to do all these type of things. You got to, like the brother said, like the scriptures say, you got to trim your way to seek love, man. And that's gonna be a constant battle.
I got a precept. This is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Yeah, so it's in Esau's spirit, all these Edomites, to have a perpetual hatred. They're at odds with us. And it's shown through their system.
And they don't even know it.
Yeah, because that's just how they configured, man. Like it say in Psalm 58, the wicked go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So it's just in them to be wicked, man. You know, but through deception, they'll go crouching.
Yeah.
You know, they'll rub elbows with you for a minute. You know, give you a couple of compliments, make you make you feel good. But just like the serpent that they are, they're gonna come out of the bushes and strike you when you least expect it. You know.
Yeah. This is Psalms 9:22. What if Yahweh willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
And Paul was talking about the Edomites. The vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. They were created to be wicked and to get destroyed. That's the will of the Lord.
Literally.
And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy.
The riches of his glory is his truth. The treasures. All right? The treasures that's dwelling in earthen vessels, these bodies. You know, entering into the vessels of, what is it?
Mercy.
The vessels of mercy, the elect. So there's two opposing forces. You got the elect with the truth, and then you got the elites that's trying to suppress the truth. And then they know that they got a short time. You know? So Esau, he's finna come all out with it. And we won't, man. Every day you should be praying that the Lord put the spirit on Esau to fulfill these prophecies, man.
Yep.
Because how long you want to be a slave, man? How long you want to try to just be in this system, you know?
People say that they have worn out the saints in the Most High.
Yeah.
And brothers is worn out, man.
Man.
You know, some brothers working 7 days a week. Some brothers is getting off, you know, brothers that, you know, do security.
Yeah.
Some brothers is getting off 2 hours late every day.
Yeah. You know? And when you out in public and you talking to different people that work at these jobs, these are people that's not even in the truth. And you know what they saying? Man, you know, these jobs, man, people aren't working, man. People, man, you know, so the whole morale in these corporations and these jobs is low, man. The Lord is changing the spirit up, man. Love of many is gonna wax cold. People is gonna say, to hell with this shit. I'm tired of working. I'm beat down. It's failed relationships. The modern dating is done away with. These jobs ain't paying, and the good jobs they going overseas, or these tech jobs is laying off a whole bunch of people. Add a famine to that. Add another pestilence to that. You know, add some more false flags and stuff. People is gonna bug the hell out. But the difference between us and them, Lord willing, we're a part of the elect. We got the comfort. We got the prophecies. Prophecies told us these things was gonna happen. But to add your neighbor, you know, your workaholic neighbor that just all he do is work, when his life is taken away from him, man, he gonna be a dangerous man.
Yeah.
You got, I was gonna say something real quick. You got some countries, I think it's like England or something, where their citizens only work like 24 hours a week, and they still able to maintain and make ends meet. Versus over here, like the brother said, you know, Esau, especially in the time of where these big holidays are, it's OT, it's 12 hours, it's 6 days, 7 days, 3 months, man. It's just wearing people out, man. That's why people out here going crazy, bugging out, man.
Yeah.
One day off, 2 days off, that's not enough, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there's a lot of reports that's coming out. There was a case study on how a 4-day work week would impact, you know, people. And they saying how, you know, that was beneficial, but I did a lesson through the Spirit going into Jeremiah 51 on going into how Babylon won't be healed, man.
Right.
Y'all can come out with these different strategies. Oh, well, let's just do 4 days a week and you got 3 days off. Look, that's not going to heal Babylon, man. You know? These different strategies and y'all being strategic on how to have the employees to have a work-life balance, that's not going to heal this place. The Lord is going to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America. All right? Like we always say, the love of many is going to wax cold, man. People is going to be psychotic out here. You know, you got a lot of people strung out on meds, a lot of people strung out on different drugs, alcohol, you know. Like I said, failed marriages. So the whole American dream, that shit is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they got this new drug. It's like a zombie type drug that you take it, you in like a zombie type state, and then it also creates holes in your flesh.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if brother's seen that. I don't think I put it in the chat.
I think you sent me something like that.
Yeah, and this is just, it's gonna be more things like that coming out on, because Esau, he's a Frankenstein scientist, man.
Yeah.
You know, so C19 that was just the low base of things. That was just to make y'all think it was something out there. So imagine when he starts really putting things out there.
Yeah, that's what he's made for.
Yeah.
He's made for the day of evil. So he's gonna be creating all kinds. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be bringing it out sooner or later. He's gonna live up to himself.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Ecclesiastes 4:1. It says, "So I return, consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comfort. And on the side of the oppressors there was power, but they had no comfort." You know, so right now, you know, the ones that are oppressed, it starts with the Israelites, but all these people, Esau is pressing all these people, man.
Yeah.
Even his own people. And they don't have, like Brother was saying, they don't have the comfort, the spirit of truth to comfort them, to know that, you know, things are going to get better, you know, and, you know, that this kingdom got to be destroyed in order for, you know, the kingdom of heaven to be in place on earth. They don't know things like that.
Yeah.
So they're not comforted, you know, so, you know, the opposite of comfort is uncomfort.
Discomfort. Yep.
You know, discomfort, you know, so like you were saying, that's going to bring in the morale change and people flipping out, because these people are already on edge.
Yeah.
You know, so they just need Esau just need the perfect catalyst in order for them to get them spirits out there.
And you see it, bro. Like you said, you was at the store, people going crazy in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, when we out there on the highways and the byways, people just honking the horn, everybody in a rush, driving fast. You know? And you got some people that's just oblivious, just don't know what's going on. But you know, for the most part, man, these people is just out of here, you know, and we thank Yahweh Shem Shah for the truth, man. Because when, you know, Jacob's trouble happened, man, the Lord is going to be level-headed, you know?
That's right.
The man of the Lord is going to be level-headed.
I just said that's what Proverbs 24 and verse 5. A wise man is strong, yet a man of knowledge increase of strength.
Yeah, so through this knowledge, we have become mentally strong. A lot of these people is going to be mentally weak out here, meaning when Esau come with the chaos and then brings the remedy, they're going to be so weak-minded to accept anything that Esau gives them because they haven't been strengthened with the prophecies. They haven't been strengthened on who their enemy is and what type of characteristics an enemy would have. And, you know, understanding that this world is being controlled by a shadow government and that these people that you look at as presidents, politicians, mayors, they all set up so they can forward the agenda of the elites. You know, knowing stuff like that, you're in a position where you know that, okay, if the government is saying this and if the president is saying that, you know, they're getting these marching orders from somebody else behind them. You know, look at C-19 and how your family fell for that. You know, you still got people with the mask on. You know, you still got people at the gym with the mask on the treadmill working out with the mask on. Like, come on, man. Got people driving with the mask on. You know, like, when are you gonna say, you know what, enough is enough? You know, are you gonna wear it for the rest of your life? But that's the point on how destroyed mentally these people are, man.
And that's that. And that's that sheep mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the mindset that the elites love. You know, docile, weak. They don't think for themselves. You know, so they want everybody to be on one accord in regards of being ignorant to the fact of their agendas, man.
Because the media and these education systems been dumbing people down for the last 50 years, like straight, like just everything is reversed. It seemed like one time we had some smart people, but now that everybody's being dumbed down, every last thing is about some form of ignorance.
The scriptures say that the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Yeah.
And everything that Esau is teaching, his curriculums and these colleges, these high schools, you know, is nothing but, you know, teaching you the non-reverence of Yahweh Shimon Shai, pseudoscience, Darwinism, you know, Big Bang Theory, you know, protons, neutrons, stuff like that. You're taking away the glory and knowledge of Yahweh Shimon Shai, and by not instilling it in these people, man. That's trying to learn knowledge at these courses and stuff.
Destroyed for lack of knowledge. The last like 3 or 4 years, we've had the bucket challenge, the crate challenge, the set yourself on fire challenge. Come on, these people are gone.
I got precepts real quick. But this second Esdras 14, and I'm gonna skip up after this. 14 and 13, it says, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and not renounce corruption." We're the ones that are in trouble. We're the ones that need the comfort, you know. It says, "Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." And that's, you know, through the Spirit, that's what, you know, we're supposed to be doing. Because like the brother mentioned, you know, these people out here, they don't have no hope, you know, but we have hope. We know that there's something far greater coming after these set perils that's coming. And that's why it says, let go from mortal thoughts. And mortal thoughts are what we face every day. You know, as far as, oh, my bills, you know, how I'm going to do this, and oh man, how I'm going, you know, dang, where I'm going, you know. When the Lord said He's going to take care of us. Are you not more, with Matthews, I think it's the 6th chapter, are you not more precious than the sparrows, man? You know? And I'm skip up real quick. This is
Because it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to detach. You know,
yep.
it's gonna come because the scriptures speak about in the days of evil be as pilgrims upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to say fuck it.
Yep.
You know, fuck these bills. You know, because once Esau pushed this new financial system, in order to buy or sell, you gotta have an implantable technology. You know, you're not gonna be able to operate in this system in regards to buying and selling. You know, you're not gonna be able to get your tags registered on your car. You know, you're not gonna be able to pay a car note. You're not gonna be able to get gas. You're not gonna be able to, you know, pay your rent. Renew your driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not gonna be able to, you know, do things that you've been accustomed to doing in the system once the new system comes. You're not gonna be able to do those things. So it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to just throw your hands up and say fuck it. Meanwhile, your girl, she's still trying it. You know? Oh, your girl, she said, oh, what about the kids? You know? You're going to have opposition, you know?
And I believe through faith, it's going to be way better than being off the grid and trusting the Lord, because you know you're going to be in a distressed situation.
Yeah.
So, like we always say, now the Lord has to, you know, exercise the muscles.
Yeah.
Because the Lord can't show his power if you got everything going prosperous for you.
He got to put you in peril to save you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the meaning of salvation. You being in a pitiful estate to be delivered from that estate. You know?
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, these people of the world, they're going to be struggling. And, you know, that's why it's talked about in Revelation 14 that they had no, I just get it real quick. Revelation 14.
Yeah, I get it. Where is it?
When it talks about, basically, they had no rest. Those that.
Oh, yeah. Revelation 20, what was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 14.
14?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah,
14,
13.
11.
Start 11? Okay.
14.
This is Revelation 14 and 11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever.
Right, and that's after Babylon, which is America, be destroyed. You know.
And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the MOTB of his name.
Yeah, so the individuals of this world that's going to, you know, take the MOTB, the CHIP, and be linked in with this system, they're not going to have no rest day or night, man.
Yeah.
Because always going to be new updates and, you know, just like the iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, it's always an update and, you know, everything is never at its full potential, man.
Set in stone.
Yeah. You know, so everybody's gonna be stretching out even more. You know, because the scriptures say that when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn.
Yeah.
You know, so Esau, he gets off on that. You know, he can't even sleep unless he have caused something to fall. You know, so it's gonna be meant for you people to be in derision and fall.
It's gonna be a lot of upkeep, you know, to keep up with all this new stuff Esau's finna be throwing down.
Right.
And he make all his products with already guaranteed obsolescence.
Yeah.
So you know the shit gonna fail after a certain amount of time. All his products
right.
break. You have to get the.
Exactly.
You got the iPhone 9, but you got to get the iPhone 10.
Right.
Then you got to get the iPhone 11.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah. The first wave of C-hips,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the people who receive the C-hips with the last
Yeah.
three of this serial number.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys gotta come here, and then we gotta push some software updates to it because it's been coming out that these serial numbers, have been not being able to register with bank accounts. So it's just gonna be a constant, being just tossed to and fro
Exactly.
in this system, man. It's not because it speaks about when he shall, fulfill his belly, he shall be in straits.
Yeah.
He gonna be dealing with world tension and certain things going on around the world. But then the people that he's ruling over and putting this technology out, it's gonna be uproars, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of people who just don't deal with it, but then you're gonna have, like the brother went into in Revelation 14 and 11. You're gonna have the people that ain't got no rest.
No rest. Yep.
You're gonna have people getting cancers, you know, diseases,
Oils and shit.
boils, you know. You gonna have all kind of stuff going on.
And then Esau technology ain't built to last, man.
Oh man.
So imagine, you know, upgrade. You gotta upgrade that Karagma.
Yeah.
You know, how many of them you gonna get?
Mhm.
Oh, that's outdated. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to go into your, you know,
Mhm.
like the brother says, it's just gonna be a no rest thing. Like the brother said, iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14. Next year, I'm pretty sure the 15 gonna come out.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have the wickedness. Somebody gonna figure out how to you gonna hack
Hack
shit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Because
be-
Jay got
yeah,
if nobody else gonna do it, Jay can figure it out. Because Jay is the form of all things. He'll figure out the hack for that.
It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one of them working in that field.
Yup.
Esau them backstabbed him,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yup.
and he gonna be on you know, putting certain information out. You know, if you put in your hand, you just turn it, you just twist it a little bit in your hand.
Yup.
You know, you're able to bypass this and that. You know.
Yeah, like they got cracks for every
Yeah,
last software you get.
yeah.
They got a crack for it. They got a
Yeah.
crack for that
Yeah,
chip.
for the iPhone, I remember years ago, they had jailbroken iPhones.
Yep.
You know, where you put the software on there. Now your phone is a hybrid. It's an iPhone / Android.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, and you can download the free apps.
Right.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. All the free apps. Just like they got these jailbroken fire sticks.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be some type of technology where they can all
Jailbroken.
get into it. Or you can get people's identity. You know, you can clone it. You can clone it. You can pair it to another one. And you know, you can be in two places at one time, man. It's gonna be all kind of confusion with these people who got that in them.
And knowing how Esau is, he probably be paying people to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just afford the affliction to,
Yeah.
you know, make
Yeah.
people, you
Doing
know.
case studies and getting the data,
Mhm.
so he can sit back, look at the supercomputers and look at the data. Okay.
Yeah.
So over here in this state, we have 15% of Esau. He gets
Yeah,
off
he
on
gets
data
off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and numbers and percentages and them little, them little bars and shit
Yeah.
that go up and down and them little waves.
That was
Esau,
wiser than Daniel.
Esau gets off looking at shit like that.
Yeah, he do.
You know?
That's why Elon Musk. It said I read a article this week. It said that they denied him for the Neuralink brain MOTV to test it on human subjects. We know that's a lie. They've been testing it on you know people missing. You know where you think they're going? These schools like Harvard and stuff. They got underground labs and stuff where they test things out on humans. Man, they've been testing it out. You know?
But you know what, they do that just so the public can say, well, they're on it.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right.
They're on it. They're not gonna let Elon Musk do this.
Right.
You know, they're on it.
Yeah.
You know, they do that to get
That's a false sense of security.
false insecurity and get people believing in this system. And meanwhile, they telling Elon behind the scenes in next year around this time, then you're gonna go and push it out. But right now we got to do this confusion.
And that's control our position.
Yeah.
You know, playing both sides. You
Yep.
know, that's Esau God complex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Playing both sides, just like the Most High. You know, he control
Mhm.
good and evil.
Yeah.
So Esau do that too. You know, with setting up certain people to forward specific agendas.
But that's how you deceive people. You deceive people by giving them. A person is deceived because they're confused, and they're confused because the information that they're receiving is kind of true,
Yeah.
but then it's
Yeah.
like how Eve was. She was deceived because the serpent gave her a little truth and a lot of lies, but she was lured in by the little truth.
That's why,
Yeah,
that's why the scripture say no lies of the truth.
Yeah.
You know.
This is 2nd Esdras 14, and I'm going to start at 20. It says, Behold, Lord, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present. But they that shall be born afterwards, and that's us, who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness, which this world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light. For thy law is burnt, therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the works that shall begin. But if I have found grace before thee, send the Holy Spirit into me, and I shall write all that hath been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in thy law, that men may find thy path. And that's talking about the elect man on this side. And that they which will live in the latter days, talking now, may live. And that's why we live in. You know, the things written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right.
You know, that's basically what Ezra was saying. Like, send the Holy Spirit upon me. That, you know, the men afterwards, like us, you know, like it, that we may find the path of the Lord, which that's what we're on, and that they which will live in the latter days may live, and we are living. You know, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shine, man.
And that's mercy. The Lord did that.
Right.
You know, like having the scriptures be preserved for centuries.
Right.
You know, in order to be translated by King James and the scholars, all for us to, at the latter end, just to fulfill that prophecy of us obtaining the truth again.
That's right.
And it takes faith to believe that, because you get a lot of people that will come up and say, oh, well, the book, well, you don't think the Bible was tampered with?
Yeah.
You know, the translations, and what translation was before the King James and all that. Look, we believe that the Lord made a way for us to get back to him. You know, we don't give Esau all this reverence and power,
You know?
and you know, putting our heritage away. He's not in control of our heritage. He's not even in control of himself. You know?
Yes.
The Lord provided us a pathway, this truth, to return unto him. Scripture speaks about returning unto the Lord, but how will we do that?
I got a few cents.
Yes.
Root 4 and 37 says, Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. They come gathered together from east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. So that's how we came back together, through that word. Preserve that word. He put his word over his name.
And the scripture said that truth endures forever. So it was going to be a point in time where the truth was going to be, you know, exposed.
Get it back,
We'll get it back. What's that scripture you always spoke of? Truth, return to them that practice.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's Ecclesiastes 27. So I want to. You had something?
You got it, brother.
Yeah. I want to just hit a couple of precepts on prayers and get towards closing out. Because going back to the title, pray that the Lord pass over you, and prayer is your, connection with Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, there's gonna be times where it's just gonna be you, and whatever knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you held fast, and the relationship that you build it up with Yahweh Shem Shai through prayer. So prayer is gonna be very essential, and it's to me first, and it's to the Hakim, but prayer is very essential for us in establishing our connection with our Lord. This is Ecclesiastes 35. Ecclesiastes 35, Salaki the water. 16. I'll start at 14. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless. Supplications, prayers. Nor for the widow when she poureth out her complaint. And whereas the widow, we were a time without our husband. We was without the truth. We were like a widow, forsaken and grieved in the spirit. It says, do not the tears run down the widow's cheeks? Because we sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of this place. Bros go through certain things. This truth comes with temptations, trials, and tribulations. Different tests that you go through to prove that if you love the Lord or not, right? Is not her cry against him that causes them to fall? So a part of our cry, a part of us sighing and crying is against him that causes us to fall, which is Esau. You're supposed to be sending your prayers up about, Lord, get this devil. 16, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor. And how do you serve the Lord? Well, you start off by presenting your body a living sacrifice, Romans 12. You go out and you go and teach the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Now, all men aren't teachers, but there are different offices. There's helps. There's people that come that support the camp. You know, women. You know, you can sew garments. You can, you know, help out financially. You can drop water off to bros. That's how you present your body as a living sacrifice. You know, but you got to be doing something for the ministry. You got to be doing something. You got to be doing some type of works to back up what you believe in.
To forward this truth.
You know? It says, 16, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor. And that's what you want these times. You want favor. You want grace. You know, because once, like we was reading earlier in Ezekiel 9, when the Lord send the spirit of death out here, you gonna want favor. You know? Because the Lord can have you in a situation where the judgment is prolonged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you getting dragged by animals. You know, Lord, let the animal let some dogs get you and maul you to death. And before you die, you getting dragged up and down the street. You seeing dogs run off with limbs. And there's accounts of stuff like that. Read about Jezebel. Dogs tore her. She-bears got on 42 wicked Israelite children.
Yeah.
You know?
Bears.
A fish swallowed Jonah.
A prophet that got killed by that lion.
Yeah, prophet getting killed by a lion. You know? Most I put the spirit on these animals to get busy.
Spirits.
Here it is, you hiding from Esau, but then you got wolves and shit right here, licking their lips. You know?
Yeah. Which they was in Vegas just now, running through the streets of Vegas, man.
Yeah.
The little wolves and coyotes and shit like that. Yeah.
So you want to get accepted with favor. It says, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. You want your prayers to get straight to the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And like we commonly say amongst us, you know, we want to put the work out, you know, which at the end of the day, it's the Lord that give a man the way of good works and the understanding and everything. But you want to be serious about this truth so that way when you pray, Lord, you know, be serious about you. You know, that what a man soweth is that what he reap. You know, whatever you put out is what you get back. So you want to put that vibration out. You want to put that prayer out. Put your best foot forward. Be studying, be reading, being out there, you know, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, man. So that way when the times of trouble come and peril come, you sending them prayers up, the Lord like, okay, you know, go down there and do this, you know, do that, you know, send them food, you know, do this, you know. You want that favor, man.
Yeah.
All right, because that's one of the highest things that a person desires when they're faced with death. It's mercy, you know, favor.
That's what you want.
You know, you looking down the barrel of a gun, or you know, your car. You got in an accident. Your car is leaning over the cliff. You know, you hoping that you was not there. You was hoping that, you know, death don't come to you. So that's one of the things that you want to covet after. Once again, and his prayer shall reach into the clouds. The prayer of the humble, the elect, pierces the clouds. It gets straight through to the Lord. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted. So the elect will have a spirit of constantly praying. You know? You know, you want to constantly pray that this kingdom be destroyed. You know, whether you abounding or you abase, you want to be praying the destruction of this place. It says, until it come nigh, he will not be comforted and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. So you want to pray without ceasing. You know, that's one of the fruits of the Spirit that you gotta have. That's what the man of the Lord had. That's the fruit that's growing on the trees of the elect. Praying, you know.
That's why Yahushua says that man are always to pray, not to faint.
Yeah.
Because that's required of us, you know, in his ministry. All right, what you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so, Psalms 34 and verse 6. It says, this poor man cried, and the Lord Yahweh heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. So we want that precept to be applied to us.
Yeah.
You know, when all hell break loose, man. You know. Yeah, yes, man.
I had a precept there.
Okay. Yeah, so the poor represents, the prophets, man. Out on the highways and byways, sighing and crying and doing the will of the Lord, man, and begging the Lord to come back to destroy Esau, man. And put any his nation and put them all in slavery, into servitude. And it says, and saved him out of all his troubles, because that's one of the benefits of the Lord, man. Being saved, getting saved. The Lord put the spirit in you to resist the MOTB, to see it, allow you to eat and drink in time of famine, giving you, tapping in your mind with wisdom and understanding to make your moves at the right moment to avoid certain, perils, So them all benefits that we need from Yahweh Shai, which is ways of salvation.
And some of those qualities that the elect have, they're already through the Spirit, I believe, they're already exercising it. That's not gonna, there's some things that's gonna happen, later on in our life, but the Lord is readying us for this time, just like how the Israelites were receiving the law, the statutes, and commandments in the wilderness, so that when they get into the land, they're able to satisfy the Lord with their actions. So the Lord was getting their mind right, prepared, which that generation died off and a new generation went in, but we know that reincarnation is biblical. But the point is, the Lord, I don't know why this. The point is, the Lord is getting our mind right, and He's preparing us for this time.
Yeah, because sometimes certain things can be prolonged. Not to destroy you, but in order for you to exercise that spirit, one of the fruits of the spirit, to be long suffering. Because the Lord, because the Lord always come on time.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Because the Lord knows our breaking point.
Yeah.
So He's not gonna allow us to break and then submit into Esau. If you part of the elect, so the Lord always gonna come.
Build your faith up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Flame kindle upon thee.
So the Lord will be with you in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
You'll go through particular situations. You'll go through fire and water. These are situations where you can get burnt, scorched. You can drown.
Yep.
You can be treading water, and all of a sudden your energy. So the Lord will be with you in situations where other men clearly have failed, but you go through that situation and the Lord will deliver you out of it. Meanwhile, if the next man went through what you went through, he wouldn't have made it. He would have ended up, police would have came, he would have ended up in jail, and he would have got sentenced for 40 years.
Right.
Meanwhile, you go through that situation, the Lord put the Spirit on you to deal wisely, and you get delivered out of it.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, people who seen you in that situation, you a fool, man. I don't know why, I don't know why I would have handled the situation way different than you.
You're a fool.
Yeah, you a fool for that.
Taking the load.
And if you go through that a couple times and come out of it, a couple of times, you start getting that faith built up real strong.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's actually a test of the thing to build your faith.
And that's spiritually brought that up. That remind me, 2nd Ezra 7.
Mm-hmm.
We on the mist, fire on one side, and water on the other side.
Right.
Yep.
Anything else?
I was just gonna say that the Most High man, He should lie. All these good things we said about him just now, that's the truth. See what I'm saying? That's the truth.
All right, with that, this was the Passover sit down. Lord willing, it was edifying through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. We're going to go ahead and do the Sabbath service through the Spirit. And once again, pray that the Lord pass over you. So with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. And double honors to our elders and apostles of great millstone and toss of truth. Shalom, Akim. Shalom. I got you, bro.
That was decent, man. Y'all Bashim Yashabakata.
She's like,